What's going on, guys? Back again with another video. Today we'll talk about Oscar Piastri and why his rookie season in 2023 has been one of the most slept on in a very, very long time. I'm sure it's no surprise to many of us. Oscar Piastri is a brilliant driver. I'm sure many of you guys have seen it live. Many different races this season, we've seen Oscar Piastri demonstrate exceptional racecraft. We even look at just recently, right? We look at what he done in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, Lando Norris obviously had that turn one incident, but Oscar Piastri was really covering through the field. And I think it's no exaggeration when I say this is the best rookie season we've seen since Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I've got some stats here just to show you guys. One, he's got the most podiums for a rookie since Lewis Hamilton. He's got the most points in the season since Lewis Hamilton. I mean, that just goes to show you the season he's had at McLaren. Now, sure, McLaren have had a very good car, but when did that car start? Let's not forget that McLaren only started getting competitive, what was it, post-Austria? Around midpoint through the season, McLaren started to become competitive. Before that, McLaren were really a backmarking team. And even still, Oscar Piastri was able to get so many points. He was also able to get himself a sprint win in Qatar, and honestly has had a remarkable season. Now, what makes it so impressive for me is not the fact that he got a podium or the fact that he got a sprint win, but it's just his composure. Now, when we look at rookie drivers and rookies, when they come into the sport, I mean, there's so much pressure, right? To perform, to do well, and just to prove to everyone that you're worth being in Formula One. And that often is very easy to overwhelm a driver. Many drivers, we've seen it happen to so many. You come in and you're just, you're almost too shocked to be able to perform. And I think Oscar, he's honestly acting like he's been here for years. Just his composure and just the way he's able to perform. We saw Oscar Piastri leading in Spa before getting overtaken by Max Verstappen, and he was so composed. Around the radio, they were telling him the gaps, right? Verstappen was closing and closing, but still no mistakes, clean, calm, collected, and just maximizing his performance. And I think that's so difficult, to even put into words, because that requires not just skill that he's demonstrated, right? It's not just speed that I'm talking about here. We know that Oscar Piastri is fast, and he's demonstrated that fastness, that ability to go really quick, right? Just look at his qualifying pace. He's out-qualified Lando Norris, who is a top 5 quality driver. I made a video just talking about how he's definitely future champion worthy. And you've seen what he's been able to do. He's been able to out-qualify Lando on numerous occasions. But I'm talking about his actual IQ, right? His ability to be calm under pressure, to take in information and to just perform and not let these outside circumstances affect his driving. How many drivers could you say, as a rookie, leading the race and having Max Verstappen breathing down your nose, you wouldn't lock up? You wouldn't get a bit of pressure and just no pressure. For Oscar, he's literally chilling, and I think that's just one of those indicators when you just know that a driver's really meant for this. This is meant for him. I think, when you're driving like that and you've got, he knows, a triple world champion coming, chasing you down, and you're able to stay calm, you're able to stay collected. That's the type of things I think you don't learn. I don't think that's something that you can be taught. That's just innate, that's just natural ability that he's got, right? The racecraft to one side, the one lap pace to one side. Mentally, Oscar Piastri is championship worthy. Of course, we're going to talk about his pace as well. I mean, we saw over the course of the season, Lando Norris was performing brilliantly, but Oscar Piastri was almost performing as good, if not better. Let's not forget, McLaren, one of the only teams who've done this actually, would give their package to one driver in one race and give the second one to the race after in order to just maximize the upgrades and bring it as soon as possible. So often Lando Norris was getting upgrade packages 1 week, one race before Oscar would. This happened like 2 or 3 times during the course of the season. So it wasn't fair exactly. But Oscar, whenever he got those packages, right, those upgrades, you would immediately see him straight up the field, straight up the sharp end. You saw him in Japan, able to qualify P2 behind Verstappen. I said in my last video, there's 3 things I think where you can really tell the quality of a driver, and that's their qualifying pace, their race pace, and their ability to navigate traffic. And if we look at Oscar Piastri, he's ticked all the boxes. His qualifying pace has been nothing short of sublime. I mean, he's been able to, in his rookie season, let's not forget, right? He's been to so many tracks he's never been to before. Not to forget, he took a whole year out of the seat. He was not in a car for the whole of 2022. And to come in after 1 year break, straight beyond the money, and to be able to fight with a top 5 driver in your rookie season. I mean, I think it speaks for itself, honestly. The reason I still think he's actually underrated is because I haven't seen enough people talking about Oscar. You know, we've seen Lando perhaps outshine him during the races, right? But let's not forget, this is his rookie season. Of course, he's not going to be able to get round tyre wear in such a short amount of time. This isn't something that you deal with until you come to Formula One, right? You start to see the degradation levels in a Formula One car. It's nothing like it, right? During a compound, a set of tyres, and so you have to adjust to that. That takes years, right, for many drivers. And we saw him actually improving on that himself. Sometimes he's been, a few tenths behind Lando Norris, but still, he's demonstrated brilliant speed, and he's done better than what Daniel Ricciardo done in his first rookie season in the team, and that's in his rookie season. So we can only imagine what 2024 is going to be like. Moving to his traffic now, being able to overtake, his overtaking ability to navigate through traffic. I mean, we've seen he's very, very good. The most recent example being Las Vegas. You know, I think he started P18 or P17, correct me if I'm wrong, at the back with Lando, and he was quickly getting through the field. I think like lap 10, 15, he was literally in front of Lewis, both of them going through the field pretty swiftly as well. And I mean, if he didn't have to pit again, he probably would have finished P4, P5. And I think this is when you really get to see the skill of the driver, because he's able to make clean overtakes and just pass so swiftly. And I think it's very easy to disregard that and think, okay, this is just standard, but it really isn't. It actually requires a lot of finesse to overtake. Many drivers can go fast when it just comes to race pace, right? When it just comes to being in clean air, but when it comes to overtaking, you have to be able to maintain that speed, right? When there's dirty air kicking up in front of you and the aerodynamics is not as good and you're losing traction. He was doing that the whole race, you know, overtake after overtake. For me, definitely one of the drivers of the day, you know, in Las Vegas. But to conclude, I don't think we've even seen 50% of what Oscar Piastri can do. If we look at Max Verstappen in his opening season, it wasn't exactly the best season, right? I mean, if we look at Max Verstappen even in his first season, the last person to get as many podiums as Oscar Piastri in his rookie season, he just happens to be the 7-time world champion, the most successful in the sport. And I can't wait to see what he does in 2024, if McLaren can give him a challenging car, and how we can fight with Lando Norris. You guys let me know in the comments, is Oscar Piastri championship worthy? You guys think he has the ability to fight with the top, to fight with Max, to fight with Lewis, with Charles? Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, trying to get to 50 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. We out here.